Hello, Andrew here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my predictions of the Premier League weekend starting the 26th of the 10th, 2019. Um, well, before I get into the predictions, let's just talk about what happened last night on Friday Night Football, and that is a 9-0 victory for Leicester City against Southampton. I know Southampton had a player sent off in the 12th minute, but 9-0. I mean, that equals a Premier League record. I mean, wow, Southampton were at home as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, Leicester City are a dark horse. You know, they gave us a game, and like, and yeah, I mean, yeah, we could have beat them without the penalty, but we didn't take our chances. They got their equaliser, and then we got lucky, and yeah, you know, and we beat them. But 9-0. They've moved up to second now until Man City play today. But you've got to look at Leicester City and think, wow, yeah, no, be wary. That's all I have to say is be wary. Um, but anyway, let's get on to today's game. So the first game is, speaking of Man City, it's Man City Aston Villa. I mean, at the moment, um, you know, um, Pep's saying he's a little bit worried about his injury woes at the moment, but that might be psychological. We all know how good Man City are. You know, we all know that um, their midfield more than anything, especially Kevin De Bruyne, who's one of the best players in the world, if not the best midfielder in the world right now. Um, I mean, Aston Villa will give them a game. Don't get me wrong. I do expect Aston Villa to um, cause Man City problems, but I think Man City is going to have too much, as I say, in that midfield and up front to lose this game. I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester City. Brighton versus Everton. Both of these teams have struggled so far in the Premier League this season. Mixed results. You know, Brighton had that really good victory against Tottenham. Everton won against West Ham last week. But before that, Everton had lost 4 on the bounce. So this is a tough one to call. I mean, if I was going to pick anything here, I'd have to go a draw. Either a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw. Um, yeah, I think that's what I'll go with. I mean, as I say, Everton haven't been brilliant. I mean, maybe beating West Ham will kickstart their season. Um, but we'll see. I don't care anyway. Don't like Everton. Um, but yeah, Watford and Bournemouth. Again, I mean, Watford haven't had the greatest start to the season at all. You know, don't think they've won a game yet. And Bournemouth again, mixed results. So, but this one's another tough game. Again, I think Bournemouth would just snatch it. Actually, I'm going to say 2-1 to Bournemouth. Um, West Ham, Sheffield United. Well, as I say, West Ham had a poor result against Everton last week. But Sheffield United had a phenomenal result against Arsenal. They scored a goal and they defended and and they deserved the win in the end. At Bramall Lane is not an easy place to go. It really isn't. And you've got to give them credit for that. I mean, Liverpool only got the win at Bramall Lane through an error from their goalkeeper. That was it. And they had their chances themselves. So you've got to give them respect where it's due. But I think West Ham will bounce back, to be honest. I mean, Sheffield United away from home is not the same as at Bramall Lane. And I think West Ham will win this one. And I'm going to say 2-0 to West Ham. Your 5:30 kickoff today is Burnley versus Chelsea. Burnley are normally a pretty good side at home. But Chelsea, you know, Lampard's young kids. I wouldn't say young kids. I don't want to call them kids, to be honest. Young team, young side, have been performing pretty well. I mean, they had a really good result against Ajax in the Champions League midweek. You know, a game that people thought that wasn't going to be a game that they could win, but they're proving all the doubters wrong. If you know, to be honest. They're actually playing pretty well. They've had a few poor results, and then, you know, but more good than poor. I'm going to go a close game again, but I'm going to go with a Chelsea win. I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. Your Sunday games, you got Newcastle versus Wolves. Wolves have started to pick themselves up a bit, you know, after a poor start to the season, with quite a few draws, and a few losses. But that's mainly down to the Europe. If you remember Burnley, they had the same problem, you know, when they were in Europe, but they got out of their rut, and I think Wolves are starting to get out of their rut. Newcastle, though, have picked up a few surprising results themselves. But I can't see anything other than a Wolves win here, and I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. Arsenal Crystal Palace. Arsenal, I mean, they had a really tough Europa tie. You wouldn't expect it to have been against Vitoria. I can't pronounce the other part of the name, but they, you know, they did come through it with 2 world-class free kicks from Pepe. You know, and they won 3-2. But it was a tough game, and excuse me. And Crystal Palace aren't an easy team. Do you know what? They're a better away team at the moment than they are a home team. So this isn't going to be an easy game for Arsenal. And I can see Crystal Palace causing some problems. And I think after the tough game that Arsenal had on Thursday, I could see Crystal Palace getting a result here, and I'm going to say 1-1. Liverpool versus Spurs. Spurs had a very good result in the Champions League. They had a 5-0, but in the Premier League they have been flaky. They have been they have not been the Spurs that you'd expect of late. Liverpool, we haven't been firing on all cylinders, and against Man United we played absolutely terrible in that first half. A little bit better in the second half, but if we're to beat Spurs, we still would need to be at our best. I mean, if you remember the Champions League final, if it's anything to go on by that, it's going to be a boring game. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope Liverpool get back to their best and win this one comfortably. I expect us to win this one, especially the way Spurs have been. But you never know. This is football, and I'll be very disappointed if we don't. But anyway, I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory to Liverpool. And then your final game on the Sunday is Norwich City versus Man United. Norwich have got a lot of injury problems at the moment. Man United have got some themselves. Some have started to come back. And after the performance against Liverpool, you'd expect Man United to push on from here, to be honest. Because they played very well against us. They were the better team. Yeah, there was controversy and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. You know what happened, you know, the results done, can't change it, and they can be proud of the performance they had. I don't like them, obviously, but I think they will push on, and I think with the injuries that Norwich have got at the moment, I think Man United will come through this one, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United. So that is my weekend predictions. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will speak to you all before the Spurs game on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.